Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. It's just turned good afternoon. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. Just a quick Football Heritage TV lunchtime hour, a chance for all of us to digest what's happened over the last few days in the world of football. Get any questions in that you want, any topic of conversation you want, get the questions in. We can discuss them. There's nothing off limits. Keep it football, but there's nothing off limits. And big up to absolutely everybody. Thank you for all the support for our channel. Perchy and I are very, very grateful. As always, smash the like button on your way in. Come on, you know the rules by now, people. It really, really does help us. So please do that. It really would help us. Thank you very much to everybody for all your support as well. We must say that. We probably don't say that enough. By the way, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Wolverhampton Wanderers away. So last night, I'm sure as many of you, I saw that that Ashley Phillips at the last minute was removed. I don't know if it was the last minute decision, but I mean, we kind of found about it at the last minute from the under-21 squad, which went on to lose to Cambridge, I believe. But are we seeing that this is Ashley Phillips about to make his Premier League debut for Spurs? So I want to talk about what happens at centre-back Saturday. Now, forget what happened the other night. What's happened. We know Van der Ven is out. I don't think they've put a time frame on it yet, but it did look quite bad. We know that Romero is out for 3 games. We know that. We can't change that. So what do we do moving forward? What do we do with that? Because, you know, it's really important that we get this right. Now, you've got different schools of thought. I think we all would recognise that Eric Dyer will start. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think that we recognise Eric Dyer will start for Tottenham. The question is, what do they do alongside him? Now, for me, I think you've got a number of options. Not saying that I want these options. I'm just saying these are the options. One, what we were just talking about. You have got Ashley Phillips can step up into the first team and play alongside Eric Dyer. Done. You've got number 2. Could Emerson Royale play there? But at the same time, do we need Emerson Royale to play at left back? Because Ben Davis is still injured, I believe. Udogie is suspended. Sessegnon's injured. So it could be a case of Royale has to go at left back. Porro was also limping. So what happens? Does Porro start? Is he going to be okay? So could Royale play centre-back? The other option is, of course, what we did in the second half against Chelsea, which is Pierre Højbjerg. Now, Højbjerg. Did a good job. I think he's done a good job when he's come on in most games this season. But starting a game with him at centre-half, 11v11, I just don't know. I just don't know if that's the one. I'm not saying he would let you down. I think that he's the ultimate pro. Let's be honest about this guy. He's the ultimate pro. He'd step in, he'd try and do a job for Spurs. But is that sustainable for 90 minutes? Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to read out some comments. As I said, any questions, just put a big Q. Let's go back to the old format, shall we? When it was just me or it was just Perchy, whatever, and we had some questions. Get your questions in. I'll read out as many as I can, but put a big Q in front of them so I know, and we'll store as many of them up as possible. Bill, big up to you, has said, Lloyd Kelly, the #1 target in January to replace Van der Ven. How much will he cost? Oh, yeah, that's right. Peanuts. This, along with Bielsa 2.0 as the manager, I've seen everything I need to see. Bill's woken up on the wrong side of the bed. Look, I don't want Lloyd Kelly. But it does make sense for Daniel Levy. That's a Daniel Levy type signing, isn't it? That's a Tottenham Hotspur type signing, surely, is Lloyd Kelly. But we'll see. We'll see, Bill. Keep the faith, my man. Proud to be a Geordie. Hang on. I'll tell you what. I'll come to that in a second. Sorry, I didn't realize a question. I'll come to that in a second, my man. Epistemic Big up, Savva. Big up to you as well. Video complete. Sofian, big up to you as well. Big up to Robert Wilson. By the way, get your questions in. BVB, I will come to that as well as a question, but big up to you, BVB David. Razul, I said, yo, Savvy, looking forward to see how Ange deals with Wolves. Yeah, I think that we're going to talk about that in more detail in a minute. But yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really interesting. He's not got his first 11 to call upon, and that's what he's had every game so far, give or take one player here or there. So this is going to be really interesting, Rasul. We'll see how he copes with it. We'll see how the players cope with it, and we'll see what we're made of. Wolves, Villa, Man City. We're going to see. It's going to be 3 tough games. People before this were telling me 7 to 9 points. We can beat City. Villa are going to be easy. They're bad at home. Not so sure now, but we'll find out, won't we? Video complete. Sofiana said we need to sign 2 defenders in January. I'll take Itakura and Caceres. Listen, yes, we need. I think we need 2 or 3. I feel we've left ourselves to the point where Emerson Royal is covering left back, and where Højbjerg is covering centre half. So yes, I feel we need defenders badly. Big up, my man, Ramon. Thanks for popping on the show the other day. Always a pleasure. To morning, Savva. Need to play Wolves game ASAP to get this nasty feeling out of our system. Well, look, it's Wednesday. We've got free sleeps, as the kids say. We've got free sleeps. So don't worry about it. Free sleeps. It will be out of our system for the better or for the worse. We'll find out by 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. Big up Johnny Sports from Down Under. Big up to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Mr. Decay, big up to you. I said, why was it legit to risk a point for a pig-headed high line and everyone is in glory of it? I love Ange, but that wasn't cool. Look, I won't go into my opinion of it. I think everyone knows my opinion of it. I agree. I think everyone's jumping on a bit of a bandwagon at the moment that just because we play or try to play football the right way, that this is what he does. This is what we're going to do in these scenarios. There's an element of bravery to it, if you will. But for me, I agree with you. I do feel that these are the sort of decisions that don't end well. We saw it didn't end well. It ended in a 4-1 defeat. Should have been 7 or 8. So, look, it is what it is. We learn, we move on. Let's see what happens. It's very rare you go down to 9 men. So let's see what happens if that ever happens again. John has said, do you think PHE can play centre-back? As I said, I think he can for a time frame. I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if we can do it for the entire 90 minutes. I feel like him up against Twang and is it Kalazdic? I think that's how you say his name. I think they would pull him apart. So we'd see. That's nothing about Højbjerg's ability, but he's not a centre half, is he? So we will see very, very shortly. By the way, we are only 2 subs away from our next landmark. So if anyone hasn't subscribed, I'll put the link in the chat. Please do. It would be really, really appreciated. And as always, thank you very much. We're going to try and make a few changes on the channel soon. So just for the better. So yes. Tony, yeah. Sorry, you've got Dorrington as an option as well. Dorrington could come into the squad. So far, though, he's opted for not having Dorrington and Phillips in the squad. We haven't seen Santiago. We've not seen Donnelly. So far, we haven't seen that Ange really favours any of the youth. Will that change? We'll see. We'll see very, very soon. Big up, my man. Big up, Steve. Hope you're well, man. Hope you're well. I'll chat to you after this, bro. Big up to Fhtv Clips. That's Perchy in the background. Smash the likes. Yeah, absolutely. Smash the likes. Let's have a like party. Let's get this to 100 likes. We've only got 38. Come on, people. Phil Coys, big up, man. How you doing, bro? I said, big up, Savva. Where's the new intro? The new intro. There's a new intro for Spurs Unleashed. There's a new intro for Spurs Review. We might work on a new intro for our main show. We're not sure yet. It's a lot of change. And so Wolves is a free pointer. We will have enough going forward. It's Villa I worry about, and of course, City. I wish I had your confidence. I don't know about, I feel like we're doing this thing again where we're not learning. We're just thinking that every game we're going to sweep past. Wolves have made it very difficult for teams this year. So we'll see. I hope you're right. But when you say we're going to have enough going forward, I don't think we're as good going forward as everyone says we are. We've not scored more than 2 goals in any game apart from Burnley. but it is what it is. Proud to be Jordan says he personally played anyone but Dyer. Yeah, I hear you, but I mean, let's be fair. He's going to very much be needed. He's going to very, very much be needed. And that's a shame that he's very much needed. We shouldn't be in this situation, should we? All these years down the line, but we are. That's where we are. And it's why I think that this whole rebuild, this whole process is going to take a long time. You've still got players like Eric Dyer in the squad. Craig has said, Emerson Royale, love that Emerson Royale. Yep. January couldn't come any sooner. Yeah, I agree with you. January should have been done in the summer, but we move on to January. Let's hope we can get there. Yeah, some good players. Yeah, some good players. I like Boye as well. I think he's a good one. I think he's a good player. Pedro Porro does worry me defensively. Again, another player everyone's gone, oh, look how improved he is. I think defensively he's a poor footballer. We're going to see. We're going to see. Bill's gone rogue. John G said, I honestly would have PHE at centre-back. It's too soon for Dorrington and Phillips, especially with Man City coming up. Yeah, possibly. But do you risk that by having a defensive midfielder there who doesn't play centre-half? I don't know. It's a tough one, right? Look, John, these are the problems we cause ourselves by not doing what we needed to in the window. But, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to say that a lot today. Daniel Harris said, big up Savva, fuming about the game still. Unprofessional discipline. Loss was coming, though. We've been getting worse each week. We're not as good as we think. Look, Daniel, if I say that, I get in loads of trouble. So, look, I agree with everything you said. I do feel that the football week in, week out has been not what some of our fans think it is. The new trend seems to be, like at Fulham, Luton, Chelsea, the new trend seems to be starting games well and then really just going like that, really petering away. But no, it's going to take time. It's the beginning of this guy's project. And this is why I think, when people, look, yeah, great start. We've done really well. But this is what I was saying, Daniel, when people were talking about winning trophies and titles so soon, I just don't think it's anywhere near that. And that's okay. It's all right. We'll build, we'll grow. Hopefully we'll be better next year and then better the year after. But we'll see. Jay Mason, Carver, big up Savva. Big up to you as well, my friend. Hope you are well today. Philly has said, big up Savva, doing a good job is not enough for what Spurs want to do. If Lloyd Kelly is not good enough for Bournemouth, then he should be nowhere near Spurs. Philly, I agree with you, man. This guy shouldn't be at Tottenham, I think. But, hey, people are just going to say, well, if Ange wants him, we want him. And that's what we're going to have to deal with as Spurs fans for a while. Phil Moss, big up Phil Moss. How are you, Phil? I said, Højbjerg played pretty well, but he was being scouted that match, which he would have known. He would only be makeshift. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, can you really have Højbjerg in the back against Watkins and Diaby and Zaniolo and Douglas Luiz? I'm not sure you can, but can he get away with it at Wolves? I don't know. I wouldn't. Just me personally, I wouldn't. I'm sure he'd give a heroic performance, but it's mad. We've only got ourselves to blame. We've left ourselves in this position. We didn't buy another centre-half. So it is what it is. GBC has said, I can't wait for Savva to eat his words when we beat Aston Villa 3-2. I've not said we can't beat Aston Villa. I don't know what words. Okay. I'm just going to move on from lies like that nowadays. Can go back for Tapsoba. Listen, I'd love to see Spurs sign a Tapsoba type player, but we will see. Strasbourg Steve, man, I'm only going for another 40 minutes, man. I'm just doing the lunchtime 45 minutes, but thank you for the offer. I'll see you tonight. By the way, I'm not going to do the watch along at 5:30, so we'll be live for the Champions League live score show at 7:45. Legacy has said, big up Savva. Do you still think we can realistically win without Fhtv and Romero? I know they give it a fair crack under Ange, but do you think we can beat Wolves with a current team? Look, of course we can. I do. Obviously, when I say I worry, I'm sure the whole fan base is worried about the back. What is the back line going to be? Porro, who I think can't defend. Dyer, who I think is really poor. Phillips, who's going to be making his debut, we don't know. Or Højbjerg, who isn't a centre-half. And then Royale at left-back. If you are a Wolves player, you're looking at that and saying, we can get at this. But going forward, have we got enough? Look, we should have. We should have enough. But we've seen lately, as I said, let me just check. Hang on 1 second. Let's check. I want to make sure I get this right before I say this, because otherwise I'll be told off. So Spurs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Spurs for 8 games haven't managed to score more than 2 in a game. Now that's fine. Scoring 2 goals a game is fine. But fans keep talking like we're going to sweep past everyone. And other than Burnley, this season, we've not scored more than 2 goals. So I just don't quite know where that confidence has come from. But look, who knows? Who knows? I still think personally, I think you all know me by now. I think this squad needs a lot of work. I don't think some of the players are as good as some of the fans think they are. I think the Doggie's a good left back with a lot of growth needed. He's young. I think he'll be a real top player in the future, but I think everyone already started labeling him as the best left back in the league. I think Porro defensively is easy to get at. I think the stats show that. I think whoever plays left wing for Wolves will be quite happy. I think Papa Sarr, again, I've been disappointed with him the last 5 or 6 games, if I'm brutally honest. I think, again, but a young player who will learn, who will grow. The forwards, I just don't think, other than Son, they're as good as we think. So there's lots of positives. There's positives that we're going in that right direction. But as I've said, I'm this guy. I think we go like that. I think we're going like that. Others in our fan base think that we're doing that. And there's a huge difference in the trajectory. So I know I'll get called out for saying that. I know people want me to just sit here and say, I think we're brilliant and our 11's the best. But look, we're going to find out what we're made of, aren't we, in the next 3 games? In the next 3 games, we could be 10 points behind City or 5 points above them or level with them. We're going to find out, aren't we, in the next 3 games? Robert said for weeks now, we've been skating on thin ice. The ice game. I agree. I think we've been, I feel like that was coming. Whether it was Chelsea or whether it was Wolves, I feel like it had been coming. I would take this. I would take this solid Premier League defender. This is one of the people I want as one of my 4 centre-backs. I would take that. Darryl said, what happened? You can't play our line with direct centre-back. I wish this fan base stopped waffling and make up their mind. Darryl, do you know what? I think the problem you've got at this stage is who else plays there? I agree with you. You can't play a high line with Eric Dyer, but who else plays there? What do we do? You know, you can't play it with Højbjerg. Phillips is very quick. You can play it with him, but this is his debut. This is going to be a big ask. Darryl, I'm really intrigued to see what he's going to do come kickoff on Saturday. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a long game. Big up, Derek. Thank you very much. Big up to you. Big up to Dave H in the chat. Big up to you as well. Some of those earlier questions, let me get to them. Proud to be Geordie said, would you get rid of VR and go back to refs' decisions? Proud to be Geordie. I'm going to come back to this at the end of the show because I absolutely would. BVB, Spurs finish in which spot? I think anywhere between 4th and 6th, I think, is where Spurs will finish. 4th, if we can get our acts together, sort out the squad in January. 6th, if we don't. But as I said at the beginning of the season, and I stick by it, for me this year was about implementing a philosophy, starting to put the stepping stones of building a squad, letting the manager settle in, letting some of the younger players learn and grow, and said if we get back into Europe, it's a good year, and if we get into Champions League, it's a phenomenal year. I stand by that. I don't know. So this is what I say. When everyone has called me negative, that's what I've always maintained, that getting Champions League football is possible. I think it's 50-50 with the Champions League. We should get into Europe. But look, the league table's gonna start getting bunched up. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring up the league table. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Oh, what? Sports, football, football. Let's have a look at the league table, shall we? So if we look at the Premier League table, right? Here you go. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Everything just sort of glitched. By the way, thank you to the 2 people that are subscribed. Can we get 2 or 3 more? That would be really, really helpful. Let's have a look. Share screen, Savva. Share screen, Premier League table, share. Right. So if we have a look here, it's very tight. It's very, very tight. And look, I mean, in one weekend, you had Spurs lose, Liverpool draw, Arsenal lose, Villa lose, Brighton draw. I mean, it's mad when you think about it. I think that's, of the top 7, only Newcastle and Man City won. That's mad. That is really, really mad. Only Newcastle and Man City won. Now, what that does is it makes it very bunched. Now, what I was doing last night, I was actually talking to Perchy about this late last night. And we said, if you look at the fixtures this weekend, I know it's always a dangerous game. You're playing the ifs, buts, the maybes, if they win, if we win, if we lose, if they lose, all that. But we looked at the fixtures for this weekend and said, look, Arsenal have got Burnley. I think Arsenal will beat Burnley. Does everyone agree? I think we'll beat Burnley. I think Arsenal will beat Burnley. Man United will probably beat Luton at home, which will see Man United go up into that 21 to the 20 points mark. Liverpool have got Brentford at home. Brentford are a decent team, but I think Liverpool at Anfield are a force. So Liverpool will probably go on to 27 points as well. Arsenal will go on to 27 points. And I can't see Man City not beating Chelsea. So they'll go on to 30. Now, the reason sorry, Aston Villa got Fulham at home. And Fulham aren't good away and Villa are very good at home. So Villa again win. So it closes it all up. So this is why, and the reason I haven't talked about our game in there yet is it makes our game then very, very important. Very, very important. Because if you don't win that, all of a sudden we're fourth and 1 point above Aston Villa. So this is why I think it's very, very early to say who's going to get Champions League, who's not. If Newcastle and Villa both win this weekend, Newcastle away at Bournemouth as well. So if Newcastle and Villa both win away this weekend, plus Brighton have got Sheffield United at home, it all starts to get very, very tight at the top there. So this is why I've tried to remain calm about all this title talk and about everyone losing their minds, because football, it changes like that. It changes like that. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Phil has said Porro, Dyer, Phillips, Emerson. Oh, God, it's a horrible back four, isn't it? The rest picks itself. I would play Bentancur from the start against Wolves to get him match fit. I would as well. I think Papa Sarr. I don't think Papa Sarr has been that good lately, if I'm honest. I think he's looking leggy. I would possibly look at getting Bentancur in if he's got 90 minutes in him. So I've caught well behind. Phil. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Rash Savra's right. This manager is going to get sacked. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah. Daniel Harris has said 2 silver linings. Vicario is legit. And my mate said people at the game were stunned by the bravery and most stayed to the end gladly. Not my take. Yeah. Vicario's class. This is my point, Daniel, from that game. If it hadn't been for Vicario and the fact that Jackson and Sterling couldn't finish their dinner, that game could have been 8-1. And I wonder then if people would be saying it was brave to play the way we did. But listen, it's happened and we move. Yeah. Would I start him at centre back? I mean, we might have to, but I don't see that we've got. I don't see that we've got any other fullbacks that can play there. Dry skin there. I don't see that we've got any other fullbacks. That's the problem we've got. So I don't know whether or not we can bring Sayers in. I don't know what they're going to do. It's a problem we've created for ourselves. So hey, it is what it is. Big up, Ren. Said it's the start of the process, as you said. We'll have losses, but it's interesting to see what plays. I agree. And Ren, I think you're a sensible one. This is what I've said all season. This is what I said all season. I think lots of people, as I said, I've got this real thing that I get called negative on a daily. Purely because I want this to happen. This is the process. Let's let it unfold. Let's see what happens over a couple of years, not over the space of one season. So, yeah, and again, Ren goes on. I completely agree with this. Any game without VDV, yeah, of course it's a worry. His pace at the back is huge. Even if Romero was playing this weekend with Dyer, I worry because we do play a high line, and you need one of the centre backs to have that recovery pace. And Van der Ven's got it. GBC, yeah, but this is. But what you've just done there, my friend, is what you've taken something that you think I've said where I haven't. Listen, I think Villa's going to be a tough game. I think with our full 11, I would fancy us to beat Villa at home. I think with the back four, we're going to have to put out. If you're Villa, you're going to fancy running at it. I think it makes the game a lot more even, a lot more difficult. We'll see. I'm not saying we can't win, but I just don't like it when people keep putting words in my mouth, because then everyone on the internet goes, oh, Savva said this. It's like, no, Savva's not said that at all. Ulfric, man, all your questions about Kane. Savva, how come when Kane scored a hat-trick against Dortmund, no one gave him praise for it, saying Farmers League? However, look at what Dortmund has done to Premier League big clubs. Listen, I don't think it is a farmers' league. The German league's a good league. Everyone calling it a farmers' league. Look, Man United are 6th in our Premier League, and they're awful. So that shows how strong the Premier League is. Listen, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for a game. I don't think we're getting smoked, but it's going to be tough. Let's see what we can do. There's a lot to do with the injuries that we've got. Absolutely, yeah, we are. We're going on an upward trajectory. This is positive from last year. I'm impressed with the start. I mean, yeah. Well, one thing I disagree with you on, when people are talking about the style of football, I don't feel it's been as good as everyone says. I feel in a lot of these games we have still just played counter-attacking football for quite a lot of it. But we'll see. We'll see. It's good. It's positive. But Phil, you know me. I think you're more than me doing that. I'm just going like this slowly. And I think Ange would tell you himself that that's what's needed. I think Ange would tell you. Philly 2109 has said, if fans say Tottenham are brilliant now at the start of the Ange process, where do they go when Ange is in year 2 or 3, when he has a squad capable of implementing his brand of football? Look, Philly, it's why I don't get carried away, mate. It's why I don't get carried away. There's a lot to do. This is a huge job. We said in the summer, this is a massive job for someone coming into. Nothing's changed. He's got a huge job to do, and he's going to do it. I've got no doubt he's going to do it. But let's all keep calm. Yeah, Joy the boy, big up my man. How are you? So big up Savva. And random question. Any idea when Tony back from his ban? Everyone nearly be gunning for him in January. Yeah, I think he is back in January, right? He can play again from January. It's going to be interesting. Apparently Brentford stuck in a £100 million transfer fee on his head. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on in that one. Look, there's not many strikers about, are there? So he's bound to be in demand. Mr. M said we should be on 29. Oh, points. Sorry, 29 points. Hey, you've got to get them, right? You've got to get them over the line. Daniel said we're going to be outside the top 6 before we know it, before we know what's hit us. Sorry to always be negative, but I know how this game works. Look, from bringing up that league table, and look, we'll show it again. Look, we'll bring up that league table again. Look, I think it's tight up there. Look, if you look at it, Newcastle are 2 wins away, right? If Newcastle win this weekend against Sheffield United at home and we lose, they're 3 points away. This is why, look, Daniel, I think you're similar to me in this. When people talk about title races and being top of the table, I think it's so early. Unless you're Man City, I think this is so early to be talking about it. Play everyone once, see where you are, see what we do in January, and then we go for it, right? I'm just trying to be calm about it all. Robert said, don't know where a lot of our fan base being so positive. I'm worried. Suspensions, injuries, crap bench, playing a high line. Look, we'll see. Look, as we said, this is the first proper test for Ange. This is the first proper test. And what I mean by that is the first 11 games, he's been able to pick near enough his strongest 11 every game, right? Give or take, he's nearly been able to pick his strongest 11. This is going to be the test. Now you don't have that 11. What are we made of? This isn't just Ange. What are the players made of? This is the squad we went into the season with. This is what we've got to deal with until at least January. So, look, I get the reasons to be positive. We've had a very good start to the season points-wise. But you're right. Suspensions, injuries, this is where you find out about teams. So this is what we've said all along. Let's see what Spurs are made of when there are. Yeah? Let's see where we are when the suspensions and injuries kick in. We win the next 3 games with all these suspensions and injuries. Cool. We'll talk about a title. We'll show we can cope. You take only 2 or 3 points from the next 3 games, from 9 points, then hang on, yeah, that's where you are, and you start to work out where you are in the pecking order. The Big D, big up to you, my man, has said Mickey Van der Ven is the worst player we could have had an injury to. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about how long he's out for or matters. Listen, I try and be level-headed, Big D, but it is always called negative. You want to see my YouTube comments after shows. It is truly amazing what the things... Do you know, I tell you what I had last night? Loads of people. I won't read out their names, but loads of people giving it the Oh, what he did in the second half the other day. You don't understand, Ange, and what that means for the future. I was like, no, I'm not talking about the future. I'm talking about this one game. Oh, I can't believe you want him gone. No. What do you mean? I was one of the ones wanted him. Who's ever mentioned? Why would I want a manager sacked because we've lost a game? What's going on? Football's gone mad. Some of the comments were truly baffling. Somebody told me I'm stuck on the wrong side of history. I don't know what's happened for me to be stuck on the wrong side of history. Nothing's happened. We've had a good start to a season. People are talking like we've won Premier League titles. It's just madness. Yeah, absolutely. There's a question. There's a question for you. Come on, guys and girls. There's 185 of you in here and only 67 likes. Can 33 at least, please, just go over there and smash that like button. It really does mean a lot. It really, really does. Where are we? Loads and loads of people in the chat asking questions, comments. It's really good. I'm enjoying today. Daniel has said, do you think Ange saying he'd play the same way regardless of the situation is bravado? He's not that naive. I think it's bravado. When we went down to 10 men against Luton Town, we didn't go all out attack. So, yes, I do believe that it's bravado. I do believe that I think there'll be a halfway house there. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see very, very soon. Well, I say very soon. It depends. How often do you go down to 9 teams in a game? By the way, come on, 25, 24 more likes. Smash that like button, people, and keep subscribing. Let's get 5 more subscribers, shall we? Come on. There's the link. I'm in a good mood today. So please, for me, the link is pinned as well. Please smash that subscribe button. Dennis has said, impressive start, but people needed this to be reminded to calm down. This is the Premier League and no game is given. You have to work every single week for a result. Look, I agree very much with the first half of what you said. The Premier League, for me, I think most teams, most countries are the same. But yes, I think in some ways, I think people did need that result so that they calmed down a bit. I think people were getting way too carried away, like we were playing Pep Guardiola type Man City football. And it is. Beyond 72 has said 11 games in works both ways. We can make points back, and when the teams around us are dropping some due to European games. Sure, but we can't make those points back if we haven't got a defence to put out that can win games. So it works both ways. Like you said, the thing is there's going to be a to and fro for every single one. Look, we say these teams are going to be dropping points because of Europe. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City are all within 3 points or above us, and they've all played Europe. So I don't quite believe this dropping points because of Europe stuff that you've said there. But hey, it is what it is. Evil Din has said back 4 is an issue, but the rest is our strongest squad. Going forward, there should be no issues, depending on Maddison. Take Maddison out. I worry like mad. Lou has said the boys will overcome Wolves. Ange will find out more and more about the future and his build. Absolutely. Let's hope we do beat Wolves. Phil has said, I think I'm getting a little carried away to the start we've had. I'll be honest. It's also the difference of last year's football to now. I'll review in Jan if we sustain a top 4 push. Yeah, listen, I think we'll be right up there in the race for a 4th place. I'm not going to change my mind. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I said City, from Liverpool, from Arsenal. I am still going with that top 3. We'll see. Arsenal, for me, are the ones that need to watch out. But I do think Liverpool have enough firepower over the course of the season. These clubs get stronger as the season goes on. So we'll see. Angus, oh, what a joker you are. Hold that 6. Philia said, I wish fans could be themselves to your own self. Be true. Don't jump on bandwagons because you may be perceived as when in reality you're not. You are just being truthful. Big up, Sam. Look, I've not changed any of my opinions because of Ange. I've changed my stance on, okay, this is the plan I wanted to see in the club. But I don't just suddenly go, yeah, we're winning leagues. This manager, look, it's tough. Winning a league is tough. Man City are the best team by a country mile. Man, I can't, I'm so scared of playing Man City in 3 games time. Craig says, sorry, mate, but why are you always, sorry, can anyone in the chat, what have I complained about today? I don't think I've complained about anything. I'm getting people's questions up and we're talking about them. I don't think anyone's complained about anything. As I said, I think we're going nicely. I think the progress from what we've seen is nice. I think we need to build, we need to grow. I think that's obvious. I don't know why that. This is what I don't understand. It's people like this that make YouTube not fun, just making lies. I think most football fans in general would agree that I keep my feet on the ground and that I don't get carried away. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting carried away, but look, I've been here before as a Spurs fan, so we'll see. I think this year, 4th to 6th. I don't know what's complaining about that. I don't know what's going on. Big up, Daniel. Yeah, agreed. On a more positive note, Brennan Johnson looks way better than Richie, and he's not yet been in his correct position. Won't set the world alight, but I like him. I agree he won't set the world alight. I would really like to see him on the right. If I'm brutally honest, I want to see this guy on the right. I really, really, really do. Big up. Thank you. Here is the subscriber. We've had 2 or 3 today subscribing, so thank you very much for your support. And yeah, please keep subscribing and smash the like button. If we're not on 100, we're on 87. Come on, man. 13 more likes we should be getting to. David has said there's having a style of play, but got to tactically adjust here and there. Yeah, absolutely. That's all I said for the other night. It's all well and good that we want to attack and we want to be this forward front-footed team, but there are times where you have to go, hang on, let's be a bit sensible. But that's, hey. Roger said we really need Basuma to not get another yellow card in the next few games. Well, yeah, because, if he gets a yellow against Wolves, he's then suspended for Villa. And if he gets the yellow against Villa, he's suspended against Man City. So, yeah, you're right. It's going to be Basuma what's this weekend. Absolutely. Please do. Thank you, Proud to be a Geordie, for sticking up for me. I'd love to know what, can you give examples of what I have complained about? I don't think I've come on here and complained about anything. If anyone's listened, I've actually said I think things are good. Just I don't think we're as good as people think. I think as I said, I can't keep saying it. We're going like that. We're going like that. But it's important. Every window, you've got to go like that, right? Every window, every week, you've got to keep going. Can't just be, we've had a good window. We've got Van de Ven, Vicario, Maddison, and we stop. So that's what we're used to from the owners. Let's see what we do moving forward. The Holy Goalie, big up to you. Long time no see. I said, do you think Rashford is the most overrated player in the Premier League? 350k a week for what? Marcus Rashford's an interesting one because he's another one of those players for me where there is undoubted ability there. But is undoubted ability enough for 350k a week? Look, I don't care what the player earns. I look at it. Should he be at a club like Man United with the praise he's getting? Look, he's a purple patch player. Sometimes he'll go 10 games, 10 goals. Then he goes another 10 games without a goal. And that's the difference for me between being a good player and a top player. Purple patch versus consistency. So you'll always hear me talking about consistency. But look, he's got ability, but I don't know. I think he's suffering. I think he's suffering from, I don't know if his mentality's right. I think Man U are a little bit of a shambles as a club. But yeah, there's definite things that need to change about his makeup. And come on, we are 5 likes away from the 100. So please smash that like button. Declan has said thoughts on them giving Romero a red card, even though we should have had a free kick right before it because of the Sterling dive. It was a red card. It was a horrific tackle. Sorry. Everyone knows my opinions on Romero. Good defender, but he's so flaky. He is a massive liability. And he's been bigged up way beyond how good he actually is. But we'll see. Listen, he's got to sort it out. He can't keep doing that to us in games. He can't keep doing it to us in games like that. Because people say they love his aggression and his passion, but that aggression and passion and brainlessness has now left us with no proper centre-backs for the next 3 games. Philly has said, BVB, big up. Also, Ange said he would never change philosophy, and the only time he compromised his style of play for the Australian national team, he walked out. And we're going to see. We're going to see. Beyond 72 has said, I was mainly talking about Villa, about Newcastle and Villa, Savva. I agree. City, Liverpool and Arsenal are squads to fight on all fronts. Yeah, look, we'll see. I think the difficult thing is, look, for all we know, Newcastle could finish bottom of their Champions League group and not have any Europe. They've got two European games left. They could be out of Europe. Do you know what I mean? Villa could be out of Europe. We don't know if Villa are going to put their best teams out in Europe. So, look, we'll see. I get your point. I hear you. I don't disagree with you in principle. We'll see. I think it's almost been a detriment We're playing once every 10 or 11 days at the moment or whatever it is. And it's madness. On average, that is. It's madness. I try, mate. I try. It's not liked by everyone. I try. 123 Buster said the reality is VDV has saved so many potential goals of his pace that we will now suffer. Yeah, this is going to be something that Ange has to combat. How do we do that at the back? If you play Dyer and Royale there, is there the pace? If you play Dyer and Phillips there, Phillips is pacey, but on his debut, it's a big ask. We're about to see, right? We're about to see. Philly, I said, from defeat you learn. In the summer, we said Spurs would win games, and in others, we get panned. It is what it is. Exactly. This is it. I think a lot of people seem to have forgotten, Philly, what they said at the beginning of the season because we had a good start. I think people have forgotten what their actual mantra was for this season. I haven't, you haven't, many haven't, some have. Nearmal. Yeah, I agree. Man City have dominated for years, and I think they're going to dominate all the while Pep's there. He's the best manager by a country mile. No one can touch this manager. And whilst he's there, I can't see it changing. They're buying really well. Players like Jeremy Doku coming in and Vardiol, they're buying so well. So well. I didn't. I'm afraid I didn't see it. Whose channel? I'll go and watch it later. I didn't see it. Bradford Jordan said Rashford is a patch player. He plays well when his contract is due. Yeah, listen, purple patch player is the best way to describe him. I completely agree. He really, really is. Near Mao said Savva, love and love. Like to watch your unbiased content from Naples to UK. Jay Gurkers. Listen, I try my best, man. And the difficulty is if I'm level-headed, the Spurs fans call me negative. If I'm level-headed, they then tell me that I'm only doing it to please the other fan bases. I've always been like this. I think anyone that knows me knows I've always been like this. It will always be perceived as negative because if you're not positive, you're negative in this world. That's the perception. But it is what it is. I don't think he will, Dave. But yes, I think if we go out and play this high line, I think it's going to be a long day against all three of these clubs. People saying, "Oh, we'll beat Villa easily." I'm so worried about Watkins, Zaniolo, Bailey, and Diaby against this back line. But we'll see. Billy again has said if Spurs get fifth, they would have done exceptionally well. Personally, oh please don't be my front door going. Nice, the postman. Perfect. Sorry, my front door seems to go more than anyone else's in the UK right now. Said if Spurs get fifth, they would have done exceptionally. Personally, I'd rather Spurs qualify for the UEFA Cup or the Conference League as we can win it and use the confidence to kick on. We'll see what happens at the end of the season, Philly. Yeah, Dyer and Emerson at centre-back. Yeah, it is the stuff that nightmares are made of. Proud to be a Geordie. Yeah, have you noticed, by the way, proud to be a Geordie, since you stuck up for me, that guy hasn't actually answered what I was complaining about. I don't think I've complained about anything in this show. But hey, we'll see. I'll be more than happy with being out of Europe and finishing Conference League next season. Listen, yeah, I mean, do you guys... let's have a look at Newcastle in Europe. Let's have a look. So if we look at the Champions League... well, you played last night, didn't you? So Tuesday, Champions League, Newcastle in their group. So as things stand, you're bottom. So as things stand, Newcastle United will not be in Europe after the next few weeks. Okay. And in the games, if I'm not wrong, they've got to play AC Milan at home and PSG away. So it's a very tight group that they could still win the group, but yeah, if they get knocked out, then they have got a squad capable of going and getting top four. But we'll see. Daniela said, what really concerns me is the suspensions and injuries. I feel it will have a bad impact in the next couple of games. Yeah. And look, this is all we said, Daniela. Some of the people that didn't get carried away, this all we said. Let's wait until we see a few injuries. And players were saying, oh, you want our players to get injured. No, it's just inevitable. Over the year, you're going to have injuries. City have had bad injuries. So have Liverpool. So have Chelsea. So have Man U. So have Arsenal. It's now our turn. Let's see how good we are. Phillips will be fine. Everyone was worried when Dyer came in versus Chelsea and he did well. Did he? I thought he was dreadful. What did he do well at? Hey, okay. Sire said, do you think that Biss is tapering off his performances to avoid getting a yellow? He's certainly not been the same. The last 3 or 4 games, I really don't think Basuma's looked that good. I don't know what's happened. I think he started the house on fire. He started the season on fire. Since then, I'm not so sure he's managed to keep that form going. I don't know why. Maybe the yellow card. But yeah, I didn't think he was good against Chelsea the other night. I thought he gave the ball away a lot. He was poor at Luton when he got sent off. I thought he was poor against Palace. Yeah, we need to see him getting back into his stride. Facts only has said he's seen enough to say Vicario is one of the best shot stoppers in the world. That is high praise indeed. Taku has said last year we were unbeaten, then played Chelsea and lost 3-0 and went on a 3-game losing streak. Interesting to see how the squad reacts. Taku, absolutely. Listen, life is all about adversity. It's okay when you're winning. Everyone's happy. Everything's brilliant. When you lose a couple, how do you bounce back? How do you bounce back? How do you bounce back? And that's the key thing for me. That is the key thing for me. Look, by the way, for anyone, I will be, we're not stopping the show yet. I'm stopping the show in about 15 minutes. After that, I will be joining Judge Mo, who has started his new channel, and I'll be having some debates on there with Judge Mo and somebody else. So if anyone would like to watch that afterwards, please do. I'll redirect you anyway. We're not going yet, by the way. I'm just letting you know. So I'll be on live with Judge Mo. And if anyone would like to join and watch that show and show Mo some support, that would be absolutely fantastic. So please join us for that. Please smash the like button. Continue to smash the likes. It really does help us. I don't think people have any idea just how much the like button really does help. Yeah, that's that. Let's get back to the questions, shall we? I really enjoy it. Let me know in the chat. I think the people prefer these. I think I've missed doing these every day where we just talk football. I think I've missed these. I think we're going to go back to these. I haven't seen it. I'll go back and watch it. I just don't know how. Oh, the debates, man, the debates. By the way, I just think what people need to remember as well, that football debates are just football debates. They're not personal. People get emotional. People get say things they don't mean in the heat of the moment. And yeah, it is what it is. Big up to Pranay. How are you? Long time no see. Said, Savva, there's a lot of talk about how the job of refs has changed so much over the seasons. So we should cut them some slack. What about the players who have to adapt with the rules? I don't think the players have to adapt to a lot, really. Look, I find it's a difficult one. This could be a really long-winded answer. This goes into what Proud to be a Geordie asked about VAR. I think VAR coming in has destroyed football. I've said it a number of times. I think now that they've got the ability to look at every little thing, they do look at every little thing, and I think it's killing football. I think the Arsenal game summed it up with Newcastle, where they had to check the ball out, check the offside, check the handball, check if it was a foul in the box. I just think it's killing football. But hey, that's just me. Timmy has said grabbing a win at Wolves would be an awesome result. I agree. A win at Wolves now looks a win away at Wolves. This will be our best win of the season. There you go. I'll say that. Steve D has said after first 6 games, I maintained I had 0 expectations. That shifted recently to think we may finish top 6. And just a free pass for me this season as long as I see progression. Look, I mean, this is all I've said, Steve, and you call me negative. This is all I've ever said all season. Look, I think Europe has got to be the minimum that we look for, and I think we will get it. Yeah, exactly, Bradford Geordie. People just say things, then don't give an example. Craig, let's get some examples. What have I complained about in this show? I'm not sure what it is. I'm not really sure what it is that I'm meant to have complained about in this show. I said, look, not being negative, I actually think you speak the truth. All I was saying is about Ange's tactics. Why would he change when he's an old man? That's not complaining. Me watching my team lose and being annoyed about it isn't me complaining. Who wants to see their team lose? The thing is, Craig, what you've got to understand is we have to say that everyone's allowed to criticize somebody, right? Fans like you are now going on like no one's allowed to criticize Ange for anything. Doesn't mean I hate Ange. I love Ange. But as a YouTuber, shouldn't I be sitting here questioning things? And if it's my opinion, shouldn't I be sitting there going, well, I didn't like that. That's not for me. I don't understand why people like you then think that's complaining. If you don't change your tactics when you're down to 9 men and your team gets battered 4-1, questions have to be asked. Craig, all the Chelsea fans are laughing at us saying, why on earth did you do that? You gave us the game. The Chelsea fans realised that they would have struggled to break us down if we had just dropped deeper a little bit. But look, if you think I'm always complaining, that's fine, Craig. I just don't see what I've complained about, giving my opinion on my team getting battered. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm meant to do in that scenario. So basically, in Craig Nicholls' opinion, if people don't just turn around and go, yeah, it's brilliant, I really love that tactic, it's complaining. What a weird world we live in. What a weird world Craig must live in, where that's what complaining is. Lynn has said, hello, Savva. What would you answer me a question? After Andrew's statement about refs, would you agree with me that if you were 1 point from winning the title, do you feel that his answer would be so positive about refs? Look. Andrew said what he said. I felt there was a touch of class in what he said. It's a double-edged sword. The Premier League, football in general, by adding in VAR, have made themselves open to so much more controversy than before. And the managers, rightly so, are getting peed off. It's funny when it's not your manager. Like, it's funny when it's Arteta. But it's annoying. VAR is killing football. And I think this is why managers are getting upset. But a bit of class from Postecoglou there. Craig Nicholls said 2-1 against Chelsea with 9 men in the ball. Okay, maybe. But then you save yourself 2 goals on the goal difference. And imagine, I'm just going to put this scenario out there. Imagine you miss out on Champions League football by 1 or 2 goals. Will people then have been pleased that the manager decided to go gung-ho and gift away 4 goals? Problem was, Craig, this game shouldn't have been 4. If Chelsea could finish, they would have had 6, 7, 8. That's the worry for me. Would people like you still be praising the 9 men on the halfway line or the high line if we had let in 7 or 8? We'll see. Thank you very much. By the way, people, keep smashing that like button. Come on, smash that like button. And please, could we get, I'll ask nicely from the bottom of my heart, could we get another 2 or 3 subscribers before the end of the show in 5 to 10 minutes? Could we? The link is in the chat. Oh, no, please ignore the last one. The last comment I put on is actually the link to Mo's show. So please ignore that. I'll remove that. If we could, that would be really, really appreciated. And it does mean a lot. People say it's begging, but it does mean a lot. We're trying to grow the channel. And to grow the channel, you've got to get subscribers. So thank you to those that have today. If anyone else would, here is the link right there. So please do smash that button. And big up to absolutely every one of you inside. Big up to Donna Cullen, who's been a channel member for 3 months. So, Mr. Savva, every night in my dream, I feel you. I mean, I don't know whether to be pleased or worried by such a statement, but big up to you. Chris has said, what would you do in the current situation with a back 4 for Wolves and City? I don't see that there's any other option really than Porro, Phillips, Dyer, Royale. I don't really see the options. I can't see that he's going to play Dorrington and Phillips. I don't know. I don't know if is there any option other than that? Maybe if Davis can come back fit. But then, I mean, if you play Davis and Dyer at centre half in a high line, you're going to get absolutely murdered. Here's the question to everyone in the chat. It's all well and good having this tactic, everyone wants to play the high line. But if we had to play, for example, Davis and Dyer at centre half, would you all still be comfortable playing the high line? Would you all still think that's a good tactic from Postecoglou to keep playing it? I'm not so sure. I think you've got to tweak. Surely. I mean, I think Arsenal should win. Sevilla, a bit of an older team in transition. I think you should win tonight. But Arsenal have made it difficult for themselves lately. But you should win tonight, I think. Yeah. Steve said, I don't recall calling you negative. I'm joking. I'm joking, Steve. Don't worry. Pretty sure all I said was I don't agree with talking in absolutes in football. I know, but Steve, you do realise that Spurs aren't winning the league. I'm just going to say that now. Like, when I talk in absolutes, you do know Spurs are not winning this league, right? It's not happening. Chris has said completely destroyed football, no liability from refs. It's made the games longer, which isn't appreciated when you're trying to get home at 10. Yeah, I agree. It's madness. It's killed football. But then we wouldn't have had many chances. Yeah, sure, we wouldn't have had many chances. But the thing is, we had many chances, still lost 4-1. Like, you've got to weigh out. Listen, it's fine if people like that. But Craig, all I know is this. It's the last thing I'm going to say on this matter. If Arteta had done that, or Klopp, or Pep, or whoever, we would all be sitting there as neutral football fans going, this is suicide. What is he doing? When it's Postecoglou, we're now justifying it. I can't justify seeing my team get ripped open like that through the manager's choice. He made the choice for us to be ripped open. I can't justify that. Chris, big up. Yeah, listen, it's yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all right, man. Absolutely. Okay. All right, cool. Ken has said, I cannot recall any time in the previous past where top 4 was decided by goal difference. I'm not, Ken, I didn't say it had been. I'm just saying it could be. It's not out of the realms of possibility. That could be the difference between getting into the Conference League or not, or the Europa League or the Champions League. It's the difference between teams winning titles can be goal difference. So, you've got to factor it in. And it's why managers don't go gung-ho when they've got 9 men. You don't see managers doing it. You just don't. But hey, listen, if people liked it, they liked it. What can I do about it? Magical Music said, so would you ask your players to play like Conte for a game just to eke a few goals difference rather than keep the mindset of the players? Magical Music, I think the difficulty here, I keep seeing this over the last 2 days. There is a difference between going full on Conte and full on Postecoglou. There are multiple ways of playing football in between, but our fans seem to think it's one or the other. So I can't really credit that question. Like, no one says you have to go full on Conte or full on with 9 men behind the ball. But what you do is try and make it difficult for the other team, close down the angles. Don't just let them have run after run into a whole half. So, hey, it is what it is. Lena said, Savva, you're very balanced. This is both Spurs and Arsenal fans. They should look at supporting their club through good and bad. However, whereas freedom of speech gone, yeah, look, people just want praise and positivity. It's 2023, so no agenda said a low block could have stopped Chelsea getting the extra 2 points. What if Chelsea pipped Spurs to 5th at the end of the season? A manager is meant to manage. Listen, look, it's buts, maybes, of course. All I know is that we didn't even need to play a low block, but just make it difficult for them. We didn't. We literally said, go on, have as many chances as you want. And they did. And they scored in the end. And then scored again. And then scored again. They could have scored. For me, that could have been 7 or 8. It could have been very embarrassing. So it is what it is. Yeah, I agree, Daryl. Absolutely agree. Daniela said, I would not be confident of playing Dyer or Davis at all, let alone in a high line. Yeah, this is the difficulty. Look, Robert, I'm a fan of the high line when you've got the players that can get you out of it, right? If you've got Van de Ven at the back, when, Liverpool had a Van Dijk who was a beast. Yeah, I just think if you're going to play Dyer and Davis there, do you continue that high line? What I don't want to see, though, is if it is Dyer and Davis and we play a high line and they get in behind every time, people going, oh, that's Ange's way. You've got to adapt to what you've got. Arsenal's great. Says, at Savva, can we please cut the drama and show class? You had nothing to complain about as VR to remain silent between VR. Okay. Right, guys and girls, I am going to leave the game there. Nearmel has said, no, Pep even play 5 defender when gone to 10-man to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, listen, Pep Guardiola, the greatest manager in the world, wouldn't have even done what Postecoglou did. But hey, listen, we move on. It is what it is. Sam has said, but Savva, we literally had 3 chances to get a result. We would have 0 chance of getting anything sitting in a low block with the play. Listen, I never said you had to play a complete low block. Again, we've got to listen. I never said play a complete low block. Sam, we can talk about our 3 chances. Chelsea had 3 goals disallowed and had 10 chances in the second half. If Nicholas Jackson could finish his dinner, Chelsea would have won 8-1. So it swings and roundabouts. Swings and roundabouts. Agreed with this. Absolutely agree with this. Last question, and then I will have to go. I said, as it has been a week, you joined up with Perchy. Have you enjoyed partner up? Yeah, listen, I love Perchy. Perchy's a great guy. You can have a chat with him. He's real. He's realistic. He's calm. He's down to earth. He brings me back into the middle sometimes. Yeah, I fully enjoyed it, and the shows will only get better. So thank you very much for that, Darren. Barking Mad, I'm not blaming the players. I'm not blaming the players. I pointed the finger at the manager. Absolutely, I pointed the finger at the manager. I think as a manager, you have to look at the players you've got and go, can we do this? Yes or no? Ange looked at it and said, all right, Højbjerg and Dyer, letting teams just go over the halfway line is a good idea. That's fine. If fans like it, that's up to them. I personally don't. That's up to me. It is what it is. Look, thank you very much. I've really enjoyed the show, everyone. I've really enjoyed it. Look, that's my view on it, Tony, as well. But hey, that's what it is. I've really enjoyed it. Please smash the subscribe button on the way out. We've been a bit tight with subscribers lately. So please, please, please smash that subscribe button. Here is the link to that. I really appreciate it. And smash the like button on your way out as well. Really enjoyed today's show. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.